Welcome back to this Let's Play of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2. This is the 100th episode, and I would guess we're probably about two-thirds of the way through the game. Maybe, probably a little more than that. I was thinking back at episode 60 that, we were farther in, but nah, not really. The free roam portion of the game is smaller than I remember. Oh well. Korriban is the last free roam planet I've come to. I'm not done with Onderon yet, but we have to wait until, essentially, things die down over there before going back in. The enemies in this cave are, honestly, fairly weak, mostly because, or fairly not challenging, because they fight each other as much as they fight you. And so, if you're concerned about getting mauled or something, well, there's you can just hold back and let them fight each other. One thing's for sure, though, when you're doing this cave, when you walk in, make sure that your main character is quite effective as a solo fighter. There are parts of this cave which you will do without your party. Specifically the parts of the cave that are not just blatantly ripped from the first. So, yeah, they reused this area almost in its entirety. Whereas the Valley of the Sith Lords was at least somewhat new. I mean, it looks, at least they changed it so that it looked like it had aged. This area, well, I mean, the same enemies, and, well, it's actually the same enemies here. I don't know if they're exactly the same spawn range. The NPCs who were here in the first game are obviously not here, but everything else is. Well, almost everything else. There's one corner of the cave that's somewhat different, and it's the important corner, as far as I'm concerned. You don't get that nice robe in this game, unfortunately. Which is too bad, because I'm sitting here in this Jedi, basic Jedi robe. I couldn't even fight a Jedi Knight.
You have left me an opening!
And I'll run through and clean up everything off screen. Well, I'll probably just pick up some items as I come through, but...
You have left me an opening!
You're essentially going through this cave in the middle of the war between the Shiraks and why they decided to wait, and how there are this many predators with absolutely no prey. Ecology has never sort of been the strong point of video games. I mean, how many video games have you run into where there are actually, herbivores? I guess if it doesn't attack you, they don't bother to draw.
You have left me an opening!
Just one little place left. And here, I'll spoil it for you. It's just more of the same enemies. There's a lot of loot in this cave, but it's, as always for this game, just random stuff. So, who knows what you'll find. It might be garbage, it might be great.
You have left me an opening!
Anyway, this part of the cave here is just XP, as far as I'm concerned. Though XP in this area have an interesting relationship, and I'll point that out when we get to it. And, oh, hey, it's these guys again.
You have left me an opening! You have left me an opening!
I don't know where Visas is, actually.
You have left me an
Wow,
opening!
there are actually a fair number of them this time. They're not hard, but hey, at least it's not exactly 4 of them once again. And there's some more Siths up here. And you see that purple field up there? That's really why we're here. That's where we're going. So, once I finish off these Siths, I'm just gonna go... Alright. I'm just going to off-screen go back and clean up all the things that dropped. Just a bunch of garbage, really. I also gained the levels on my characters.
The power I felt coming through the cave is just ahead. I believe you are strong enough to explore the tomb ahead. This tomb has not been plundered. Its mysteries may still be intact, but so might its traps. Take great caution.
I sense a great presence within this tomb. Master, it calls to you.
It's a wall of the dark force. I am not strong enough to go through.
You will have to face the challenges of this tomb alone. Are you ready?
Now, if you are not absolutely sure your character can survive some pretty hefty hand-to-hand fights, 7 to 1 against real enemies, you might want to hold off and sort of reconsider for a while. This is not the easiest area in the game, and once you go in, you can't go out. But anyway, I'm ready.
Do not heed the words of the Jedi Council. The Republic will fall if we do not act now. Already the Mandalorians have taken 3 systems along the rim. They will only grow more powerful with time. Come stand with me. We will use our might to help the Republic in its time of need. Join Revan and I. Together we will battle this menace.
Okay. If you've played the first game, you'll recognize a few characters here. Well, maybe you wouldn't exactly recognize the guy in front of us, but I think you know who he is. Anyway, this is apparently pieces of our character's history. This is when they were recruited for the Mandalorian War.
The Jedi Council is wise, but will take too long to deal with this threat. We must act now to stop the Mandalorians. I have heard of you. Your masters speak well of you, of your skills in battle. Join us.
And, do you know you're just a vision?
But the war is real. The suffering is real. The death toll the Mandalorians inflict are all very real.
Okay. And, as previously explained, we joined without hesitation against the wishes of the Council.
The Jedi Council is wise, but can make mistakes. History has proven this time and time again. The Council seems content to watch, to debate, while entire systems fall to the Mandalorians. If we don't act now, there may be no Republic army to assist in the future. I sense you will join us. What are your reasons?
And, you could, we're talking to phantoms here, so we might as well be honest. Then, the Mandalorians would have won.
You should trust in yourself and in your instincts. It was within our power to end the war, and the Council chose to debate behind closed doors while planets burned.
Yeah, well, we barely won the war, so...
Yes, that's right. Without us, the Republic would have been no more. And the Council, their vaunted wisdom, bred only in action. And that that would have led to destruction greater than anything born of the dark side. So, if you could do it all again, the real question is, would you? The Mandalorians await on the edge of space, eager to crush the Republic. You know how this turns out. Would you do it any different, knowing what it costs you? Knowing what it costs the rest?
No.
So knowing all that would transpire, would you still follow Revan and I? Excellent. And now you are all alone. Would you join me now? You didn't follow Revan and I down our path. Join us. Your journey hasn't ended yet.
Wait, that last person, now you don't know this if you've not played the first game, is Bastila Shan, who did not join the Revankists, as they're called in lore, though this game never uses that term.
She didn't join us that day, but in time, she came to our way of thinking. And even before then, she wavered and wondered what would have happened. It is a familiar path. There were those who wished to follow you to war, yet remain behind. They came to hate you for the choices they wished to make.
Alright, well, I'm certainly not going to follow you now because you're a weird spirit, but...
Are you so certain? Every step along the way, we did what we thought was right. Perhaps the same path lays before you, but the time of words are done. Now it is time you experienced the full power of the dark side.
Right. So, here we are, 6-on-1, lightsabers all. I'm going to start with, actually, I'm going to start with Force Waves. Malik is quite strong. The rest of them are fairly weak. So, I'm going to turn energy resistance on. And unfortunately, energy resistance doesn't work too well with this belt I'm wearing. Essentially, that since I have two bonuses, only the highest one applies. Also, fire off this Verpine prototype shield. Well, maybe I'm overthinking this, but oh well. And Malik disappears, and the rest of them disappear with him. Well, that was unusual. I'm going to rebalance my equipment to try and get away from that other belt, because I'm not going to be using it in this area. Honestly, though, we're out of time, so I'll see you next episode.